Today on Forbes, why Elon Musk's China ties are DOGE's biggest conflict of interest. Billionaire Elon Musk and his young DOGE minions set off alarm bells this past week as they ripped through sensitive government databases and payment systems in a slash-and-burn effort to chop federal spending. That's a problem because he's not an elected official, many of his moves may prove to be fully illegal, let alone unconstitutional, and he's in a position to use his DOGE power to directly benefit his companies. But that's not all. Profitability for Tesla, the largest source of his wealth, depends on one of America's biggest adversaries, China. Tesla and Musk enjoy a particularly cozy relationship with China's Communist Party leaders, receiving permission to own and operate its plant there without a local partner, a requirement for every other non-Chinese automaker. And it was the only growing market for Tesla last year as sales in the US and Europe slumped. Critically, it was the opening of the Shanghai Gigafactory 5 years ago that reversed Tesla's financial fortunes after a decade of red ink. Since 2020, the plant's first year of operation, the company has remained consistently profitable. With its sales outlook murky, China's importance to Tesla and to Musk's personal wealth is even greater than before. And that raises Musk's need to please Chinese authorities, who could pressure him if Trump's policies are at odds with their priorities. Or as Vivek Ramaswamy, briefly Musk's DOGE wingman, put it on his podcast in 2023, the billionaire will, quote, jump like a circus monkey when Xi Jinping calls in the hour of need. Musk, a frequent and aggressive critic of former President Joe Biden, is downright warm and fuzzy when it comes to comments directed toward China's leaders on X, his social media soapbox. Forbes recently reported that his wooing of Chinese leadership goes back a decade, starting with a 2015 visit in which he pitched CCP leaders on Tesla opening a plant there. During the approval process for the massive Shanghai plant, which got at least $1.4 billion in loans from state-affiliated banks, Musk worked closely with Li Qiang, the Communist Party official then governing Shanghai. These days, Li is China's number 2 behind Xi, serving as premier since 2023. Last month, a day before Trump's inauguration, Chinese Vice President Han Zheng was in Washington for a meeting with Musk, encouraging Tesla and other U.S. companies to, quote, make new and greater contributions to closer economic and trade ties between the nations, according to the state-run Xinhua news agency. Musk, often potty-mouthed and petulant on X, replied that Tesla was ready to do exactly that. Other major U.S. companies, such as Apple, also have close ties to China. Tesla's, though, is on a different level. Besides its special deal to wholly own its plant, a free pass on the joint venture requirement that Toyota, General Motors, and other automakers were saddled with, Tesla also benefits from cheaper Chinese labor, parts, and materials, and logistics costs that have made its Shanghai Gigafactory a money machine. Sam Fiorani, Vice President of Auto Forecast Solutions, said, quote, they have more production capacity there than they do in the rest of the world. It just defaults to being the single most important market. It outsells every other market. Unlike in the US, Chinese Tesla buyers will continue to receive government incentives, averaging around $2,000. A pollution crediting system modeled after California's zero-emission vehicle program also generates extra money for the company. Trump's administration has already rolled back tougher fuel economy standards, which could eliminate a big chunk of Tesla's lucrative sales of emissions credits to other automakers. But there's a price for the favor it's received. In a December 29th New York Times opinion piece that argued Musk is a national security risk, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General Russell Honore wrote, quote, China does not tend to give things away. The country's laws stipulate that the Communist Party can demand intelligence from any company doing business in China, in exchange for participating in the country's markets. He continued, quote, this means Mr. Musk's business dealings in China could require him to hand over sensitive classified information, learned either through his business interests or his proximity to Trump. For full coverage, check out Alan Owensman's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.